Hey everybody, this is a video on me trying to install the 1-gallon gas tank from a Turfmaster to my Timemaster, and this has been working great. And I have an hour meter which I couldn't reset to 0. This was a replacement unit. The current tank, I took out the blue foam and it works just fine. I haven't really made too many other modifications yet. Yes, this is on an old iPhone, and yes, I'm no good at taking video. So here are the parts. This is the bracket, part number. I'll put these in the description. This is the tank, part number. These are the 2 screws. They come in a pack together. They attach the tank to the bracket. This is the vent hose that goes right here. Some might run it without it. I figured I'd order it anyway. That is the gas cap, and yes, it is sold separately. And then you'll also need to, there's a part number for the screws that would normally attach the bracket to the Kawasaki, but since this isn't the Kawasaki, I ordered the screw. It turns out it was only 1 screw and it ended up being way too expensive. So I went to Lowe's and I purchased M6 screws, bolts. They're M6x1.00, and then I purchased the matching washers and nuts. So this is the nylon insert lock nuts. You want the nylon, of course, because that'll keep it from getting loose, and you can also put some Loctite. So here I've put 4 bolts together, so those will go on too. So next is to actually mount the bracket and see if it will be high enough so that we retain the downward flow from the gas tank to the carb. So I'll be attempting to mark it up here, and I have some magnets that I'm going to try to hold the bracket in place, so that'll be coming up next. Okay, this is a welding magnet from Harbor Freight. This portion is steel. This portion is not. So steel, possibly aluminum. So this isn't going to work. So what I'm going to do is to mount this on here. So these 2 guides will slide into these notches, and then if you see these holes right here, the screws, the 2-pack of screws, these will screw to the bottom of the tank here. So let's can you pause this thing? No. Alright, be right back. So here is the tank on the bracket, and I have not put the screws in yet, but I wanted to just kind of hold this up. Now, depending upon how you mount it, it may interfere with this. So you're going to want to just mark your holes, and you can see that, oh man, I'm terrible at this. You can see the filter and the line, and you can see the bottom of this. So if you mount it properly, you'll be able to just redirect that hose to this. And I'm actually going to also install a fuel shutoff if I have enough space. So this will stay, this will stay, this will come off of this tank. I'm gonna empty it with into the gas can. I have a siphon, and so what I hope to do is I'll reuse this pipe, cut it, install a new clamp with the fuel shutoff, another clamp, and another short piece of hose that'll go to the bottom of the tank here, this right here. So that's the plan. I'm going to take the tank off the bracket, going to mark the holes, use a center punch, drill the holes, and if you actually want to see, this is heavy. Hang on, I'm gonna flip it. Hang on a sec. Can't pause video on an iPhone, huh? All right, be right back. Okay, so here's the unit on that side. Doesn't look too terribly bad for about 2.5 hours of usage. When you buy these, if you buy these from the box store, you gotta see and make sure it's not damaged on the sides here. There's virtually zero packaging on the sides of the boxes. These get dinged in and it damages the blades. So down here you can see all the way up in there where my finger is, that hole will be going right in front of it. We'll be going in front of that hole up there. And so you want to make sure you don't use too terribly long bolts. Yeah, terrible video, I know. Hold on. Where's the flash? Hey, things are better when you turn the flash on. Anyway, so there's the hole for the wire right there, and we're going right here in front of this bead, so right about here. And then if you just transfer that down, there's enough what is that, grass? There's enough clearance there, as long as you're in front of the hole, not too far over because of that weld or seam right there. So mark it, measure it twice, use a center punch, drill your holes, bolt it up, and let's get a 1-gallon tank on this monster. Also, I've also purchased the heavy-duty pulley, because I know a lot of you guys have been replacing the pulleys with the same crap pulleys they put on this thing. That is another expense that will be in a different video. If y'all want to see the part number, just tell me. I'll take a photo and put it up. Anyway, so that's what's going on. My videos are terrible. I'll patch them all together, and then we'll make this happen. Be right back. Alright, so here's the tank on the side. I moved the lever out of the way. I held up the bracket, used a punch, two holes. You'll notice there's a little seam right here, and underneath there's a bar back here, so you don't want to hit that. And up here there's a bar near where they approximately lined up with the C. It's the supports there. So where I put these, the bracket lines up right there. In my case it lines up with the sticker, but I put the holes there so I could still push the bracket up. If this doesn't work and the gas doesn't flow in here properly, then I might elevate this by putting another bracket. Main idea, of course, was to not use this little tank. At some point I might actually remove the tank, but that's a little bit of disassembly I don't want to do right now. You can see there's a bolt here for the tank. You'll have to take, I think, the top off and get to those bits. I didn't actually empty out the gas. So okay, next I'm going to drill with an M6 bit. If you don't have an M6 bit, you can use a quarter inch, and if you don't have M6 bolts, you can use a 1/4 inch bolts. They're pretty much 1/4 inch, or M6 is the only thing that'll easily fit through these holes. And then if you want to stabilize it further, once you've got these two secured, you can certainly drill another hole in the middle and give it 3, but I don't think that'll be necessary. So here we go, going to drill these holes and try not to mess things up. So I use the 1/4 inch bit, just a good old trusty Bosch 12 volt. See all my junk here. Here are the holes. You can see all the flakes and everything. So next up will be to mount this thing and see what it looks like. So that'll be the next patchy clip that I attach here. Again, I'm using M6 bolts with nylon insert lock nuts. And if you look at these bolts, they actually have a flange on them, so you don't need a washer on the outside part. I'm putting a washer on the inside against the bare metal, and then putting the nut on there. So if you haven't seen what these bolts look like, you're going to want to purchase these. They actually have a flared, kind of like a built-in washer, and that's more like what the original bolts Toro uses anyway. So okay, I'm gonna clean that up, I'm gonna mount this up, be right back. Okay, that's what it looks like. I did run into a little bit of trouble. The back bolt, I got too close to the support brace right here, so I just had a little bit of trouble on the inside getting that nut in, and then of course holding a washer on the bolt while you're also trying to put a nut on is a little difficult, but that's what it looks like. Now if you're wondering if this gets in the way, it doesn't, it won't, and this has actually come out a little bit, but it'll be almost non-existent. It won't be a problem. Oops, it won't be a problem. That's what it looks like. It's stable with only those 2 bolts. Next I'm going to go find the clamps so I can get the breather hose on. Again, this is just to vent out the vapors and everything. You probably don't have to put it on if you don't want to, so it'll just kind of jam in there. And then here is your gas cap. Here's the piece that goes in. You just kind of plug it in so that retains it. And yeah, the cap does not come with the tank. So that's that. and fairly stable. There's enough space, and it should be high enough for me to get the pipe up in there. So, all right, work in progress. Be right back. All right, quick update. I have to take the tank back off because when I went to remove that, I did try to draw out all the gas. Didn't do a good job on it. So there's gas everywhere, and you do need to make sure the bracket is level, and it's also level when you get the tank on there, because mine wasn't. Now the problem, of course, when I need stuff, I can't find it. I thought I was going to be ready with all the parts, and well, they're not where I thought I put them. So the new clamps, I don't know where they are. The fuel shutoff, I don't know where that is. Luckily, I was able to find my bulk fuel line. So yeah, I've used this on Hondas and whatever else. So I don't know what that warning is for. But anyway, it's Briggs & Stratton line. So what I'm going to do is, this is actually too short and it puts a very bad kink right there. So I'm going to remove this whole section, put a longer section between the filter and the carb so that it has a little bit better bend. If I can get like a 90-degree adapter, maybe I'll do that later. Oops, sorry, watching somebody walk by. So there's fuel in there, so that's the next plane. So yeah, get all your parts together, get a buddy to help if you can, and so these are all lessons learned along the way. I'm trying to jam this in before it starts raining. Too much information, sure, but the tank fits perfectly. It's not in the way. If you ever need to fold the handle to get it in your Civic, that's going to be a problem. Otherwise, this isn't in the way, and you'll no longer be using this little dinky tank. You'll be using the big boy tank from the Turfmaster. And again, I've got the heavy duty pulley, which by itself is like 110 bucks. The pulley, they're heavy duty pulleys. They look like they're just forged and not, you know, held together by three bolts. Anyway, so that's later, some other time. So next is to lengthen this pipe here, get this on the new tank, and deal with the fuel shutoff later, probably before winter. I run regular, you know, 87 octane, whatever, and whatever octane the cheap stuff is, and then I put stable, and I put stable in everything, so it's good. I've got stuff that does not gum up, and I've been putting the fuel shutoffs on everything that I can. So again, going to lengthen this, get it attached to the tank, and then fire up the motor, show you all that everything's good. And next time I mow, I will not have to refuel in between lawns, because I do my lawn, I do a neighbor's lawn, and a little bit extra here and there. So yeah, hassle. Okay, be right back. And get your parts all together before you start this. Yeah, there's gas everywhere. so everything works. I should have been more prepared with all the clamps and everything. This hose, turns out it's thinner than what is originally on there, so the original clamps don't fit. So be careful which hose you purchase. Maybe that notice means something, but yeah, so get the matching clamps. Usually the red Oregon ones are the smaller ones that you can use with this thinner line, and then or you can just purchase the matching clamp number. That would be smart. And then just get everything together. So I only put a little bit of fuel in here. Remember, the cap does not come with the tank. There's only a little bit of fuel, and it's enough for me to have run it, and just did one pass. No stuttering, no anything. Took a few pulls because I had the thing laying on its side and it was a little flooded. But yeah, this is good. So all in all, depending on how you purchase the parts, it might be really expensive, or it might be around, say, $100, $110 for the parts that, again, I'm going to list in the description. Or alternately, if you back up and just pause at the beginning of the video, you can just see all my random stuff that I got here. I had originally planned on, instead of using bolts, I had planned on screwing them in. So I also have the bits that allow you to screw and tap all at once. So here's the M6, and here's like the quarter. If you've never seen these, you can drill and then also tap. Come on, focus. If you notice the threads on there, and you just have to go real slow, and then back it out and all. And so I have cutting oil. If I had decided to do that, I didn't. I just hammered it in, or just drilled it and put the bolts. So that's it. These are little wire holders that you would use like in a vehicle or whatever. So okay, that's it. It's done. 2 bolts, temporary hose connection. I will try to jam a fuel shut off in there and fix that a little bit. I might put a adapter down there, and finally did it. Finally did it. So okay, that's it. Bye. One other thing I wanted to show you. I'm going to rotate this to the right. Why? Because when you go to yank on this, it's kind of in the way, and it's just going to put more wear on the rope. So I'm going to rotate it this way. There's 1, 2, and 3 bolts. They are, what size is this thing? 8mm. And what you'll notice is right now it's to the rear. I'm going to rotate this top so it's more to the side, because you're going to come around to the side usually anyway. This is not good. And then if I see how to get the old tank off, then maybe I'll do that too. But for this video, I'm just going to rotate this and then show you that again. So rotated this. It used to be down back here, so you would be stuck pulling it back towards this way. If you stood off to the side, it would just put unnecessary, it would rub on the rope. It's just going to lead to, over time, just the rope's going to get worn down. So now it's off to the side, easy. You got your foot